For those of you who struggle with hyperpigmentation, this video is for you. So let me explain what hyperpigmentation is first, because some of you might not even realize that you have it. Hyperpigmentation is when you have an overproduction of melanin, and it's basically where you have dark patches on your skin. It could start off with sunspots or age spots and then gradually become darker over time. It could be larger areas, it could be smaller areas, and it really starts off sometimes small and then kind of like it can change accordingly. Sometimes it just disappears as well. So it's really one of those things which is unfortunate. We can't figure out and we can't like fully know when it's going to happen or if it will happen. But I'm here to show you how you can get a flawless base using real life techniques. So obviously I don't have severe hyperpigmentation, but I'm going to show you the technique. So this isn't about showing you a before or after. This is about teaching you how to actually cover hyperpigmentation whilst getting a flawless base that actually looks natural. Because I think you all know by now, if you have hyperpigmentation, that the struggle isn't always just covering it, it's also having it look natural through the day and for it not to just randomly appear. Because sometimes you can pack on the makeup and you're like, okay, great, I've got rid of it, but it looks heavy. Or later in the day, it just starts to reappear and you're like, because the makeup's coming off. So I want to go through all of that with you and show you exactly what the right technique is. If you like this kind of real life, practical, kind of educational video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you don't miss my next video. Hyperpigmentation is actually very different to redness. Some of you may not know that, right? Because it can be a little bit confusing with all these words thrown around, like rosacea, and then you've got hyperpigmentation. You're like, which one am I? Am I a bit of both? Hyperpigmentation is usually deeper in tone. It's a bit more stubborn, and it's also kind of like uneven patches. If you add one layer of foundation, it kind of doesn't cover it, but then if you go in with another one, it just starts to look thick. So that's like basically what I mentioned earlier. That's why the approach that we have today that I'm going to be showing you is a lot more targeted. Step one is making sure that you actually prep your skin correctly. I have no skincare on whatsoever. Skin is feeling a little bit dry. Now, when it comes to hyperpigmentation, I would say I don't have hyperpigmentation, but I do deal with darkness in certain areas, and I definitely have age spots, sunspots, I don't know what you want to call them. My mum has them in the same places. I have them scattered around here, little kind of dots, brown dots. I have them coming up on my forehead. I have them scattered around my nose. It's mainly the top of my cheekbones, which is exactly where my mum has them. And yeah, I've got them kind of spread out in different areas. And sometimes they look darker than usual. Sometimes they're not so bad. And I do have a little bit of darkness around this area here. It's always stuff that, you know, you can see close up yourself, but may not be that visible on camera. So yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Now, ultimately, we want hydrated skin. I'm going to go in with my Drunk Elephant Be Hydrate Intensive Hydration Serum. This is a really good product when you want intensive hydration, basically. I feel like this alone really does help if you need extra hydration during the day. I don't rub it all in, I just kind of like pat it on and then let it kind of do its thing. Then I'm going to apply my Drunk Elephant Ceramide AF Eye Balm. Do you remember I used to use these all the time? I've gone back to it because it just feels so good. I don't even know if it actually does anything, but it feels really good on the eye. It's just super balmy. Okay, just patting that all over. Next, I'm going to go in with my moisturizer because by now the serum that I applied has dried down. I'm using my Hourglass Equilibrium Restorative Hydrating Cream. I quite like that as my day cream. So we've got really well hydrated skin. Like the only way I can describe how my skin feels right now is hydrated. It doesn't feel dry. It's got a nice layer of hydration on it. So my finger kind of glides across without taking off product. It's a smooth surface, it's hydrated, but it's not overly greasy. It's basically balanced skin, and that's what we're dealing with right now. Now, I talk a lot about stuff like this over on thebeautybreakfastclub.com. Honestly, just type it in, thebeautybreakfastclub.com, and I can guarantee you're going to be hooked. There's going to be newsletter after newsletter that you're going to want to read. It's free to subscribe. That means it gives you access to a free newsletter every 5 to 8 days or so, and then basically you can go for the paid version, and that costs the same as getting yourself like a coffee every month. That's all it's going to cost you, but it gives you way more because it unlocks the site. So it means that you can actually read all of the newsletters, and there's a new one every other day, by the way. You've got loads to catch up on. And it's all about beauty, wellness, style. There's even an over 40 section on there, which I think you're going to love. There's a lot of kind of like product reviews, not unboxing, but like product reviews in detail, so a real deep dive into it. You are actually going to see products there before you see them here, and some real kind of like real talk about topics that I think should be spoken about more, and a real deep dive into my brain really as well. But also I think the best bit about the paid version is the fact that you get to join our community on the platform, and we've got roughly around 9,000 people on the Beauty Breakfast Club as part of this community. It's absolutely amazing, and what's great about it is it's all like-minded people, so people who love what you love, and they're all kind of like helping each other with beauty. You can also ask me any questions and I answer directly. Just the way everyone's pulling together really does make me feel so happy that somehow all these people have come together and they just know each other now, and I've got to know so many of you guys too, so I would really go for that version, but I want to see you over there. Okay, next step is we want to get a primer on, something that is going to kind of really nicely kind of smooth our skin even further, create a barrier between our skincare and makeup so that our skincare can get to work and do its job and not be interfered by the makeup, and the makeup can get on with its job and not be interfered by the skincare, but also to kind of just give us a nice kind of finish for the foundation. So nothing too overly greasy. It really depends on what your skin type is like here. So I'd think about it. Do you have dry skin? Then go for a hydrating primer. Do you have oily skin? Then go for a matte blurring primer. Do you struggle with texture? Go for a blurring primer. Like, think about what it is that you want in terms of like your primer. I'm actually going to go for the Pore Vanishing Photo Finish Primer from Smashbox. I really do like this. I love Smashbox primers at the moment. And I'm just going to apply this everywhere where I have a bit of texture. This is really for kind of perfecting your base before you apply your foundation. So it's really targeted. What we don't want to do next is add a full coverage foundation. I know it's tempting because it can immediately cover kind of anything that you need to cover, but the problem with that is it provides unnecessary thick coverage immediately and it looks heavy. It emphasizes texture, and it can also end up actually emphasizing the dark areas, because sometimes those dark areas can look different with a certain foundation compared to how that foundation looks like on your normal skin color, because your normal skin color might look fine, right, when you've got that foundation on, but the minute it goes over an area which is darker, it can end up making the area almost look covered but gray. You know, and I'm sure you guys have probably noticed this when you're working with, or when you're dealing with kind of like more severe hyperpigmentation, is that the actual tone of that area changes when you put the foundation on, because the foundation looks great everywhere else. On the major, like on the main surface areas where you don't have hyperpigmentation, but you can't like, you know, use a different foundation on the hyperpigmentation areas and then your normal foundation on the areas that like you don't deal with hyperpigmentation, because it's just gonna look really weird. And that's just way too much going on. So this is what I want to explain to you. We're going to go in with a lightweight foundation first. I know you may be wondering, do we not apply color corrector at this point? But this is a different technique I'm showing you because it's going to make sense as I go through it. So we want a lightweight foundation first. So the foundation that I want to use, and don't get worried about this because I know you're probably thinking, well, how is that actually going to cover anything? But just trust me. So the foundation that we're going to use is the Hourglass Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation. My shade is number 10, and this is a really nice lightweight foundation. I'm going to get a thin layer of this on. We're not focusing on covering hyperpigmentation at this point. We want to get an even layer all over. I just want you to get a nice thin layer all over your skin, all over your face. And at this point, this is where you will be able to see, once you've got this layer on, what your hyperpigmentation looks like with this foundation on. Now for me, like I mentioned, you may not be able to see the areas that I find a little dark, because it might be really kind of minor in comparison to what you're dealing with. And you may not just generally be able to see it because of the camera and everything. But I don't know why my words are coming all out all weird. I have a little bit of kind of darkness that I deal with just around this area here, and a little bit around here, but more so around this area here. What we want to do is let this settle down and dry down so that it's not so wet. So don't go immediately with your next product. At this point, you will see what your hyperpigmentation looks like. So it may be very slightly covered because it's a lightweight foundation you've used, but ultimately it's going to show you like how much more work you need to really do, right? Rather than pack on a thick foundation. So at this point, you'll be able to see that, okay, it's toned it down a little bit, but I do need to work on those areas, and it's a little bit more gray on those areas. So it's important to understand how that hyperpigmentation looks after you've got that first layer of foundation on, so that you're not struggling after you've kind of applied all of your layers, if that makes sense. So this first layer gives you a really good indication to what you're dealing with. Is it a bit more gray now? Is it a bit more kind of like brownish now? Like, what am I dealing with? So I know how to counteract it. The reason you need to know what kind of tone it's turned into right now is because then you know what color you need to neutralize it. So if that area, if the pigmentation is looking a little bit more brown or grayish or even bluish, you need a specific color of color corrector to neutralize that. A peach or orange tone color corrector is going to cancel out any kind of darkness. So if it's looking dark, that's where peach and orange will come in. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're dealing with after you've put the first layer of foundation on, because that's generally how hyperpigmentation looks. So what we're going to do is use a color corrector, and I want something that isn't going to be too fluid for me because I want it to stay in place. And I think this one in particular works great. This is the Charlotte Tilbury color corrector in tan. It's a bright orange, so it works really well for hyperpigmentation. But obviously, if your hyperpigmentation is not so intense, you might be able to go for a peach tone. This is where you want to use the smallest amount possible, and you just want to kind of pat it on top of the areas that you have hyperpigmentation, only on the pigmented areas. So I'm going to be applying it here. This is where I said I deal with darkness, and you really don't need a lot. You don't want it to fully disappear because we're going to deal with that in a bit. I'm also going to apply this just around here because I do have some darkness around here. And just there. I always struggle with this inner eye area. It's very dark. There you go. This next step is when we go in with concealer. Now, right now, I want you to let this settle down because it needs to dry down before you move in with concealer. In terms of concealer, you want to use something which fits in well with your general routine. Like, it's not just about covering the hyperpigmentation. It is also about getting the coverage that you need, maybe for your dark circles. So I personally really do like the Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm going to use my normal Tarte Shape Tape. So right now what I want to do is just add this where I usually would. So that would be just here. And I'm also going to do this here, because this helps to actually brighten it up for me, but also give me a little bit of a lift. And then right here. Now, what I do here is I get my sponge. I spray this with my setting spray. Make sure there's not, like, it's not too wet. And then I pat this concealer down, and you're going to see it's going to cover up that area, brighten it, and you're not going to see the color corrector. There you go. Immediately it's bright. I personally can see a huge difference there because it's not as dark. It's like brightened it all up. We're going to do this area here. The trick is here is let that color corrector dry down first. And also, when you are patting your concealer down, don't press so hard. Be very gentle, because you'll realize that actually you get a lot more of the coverage that way. And you get more of a flawless finish without it looking heavy. Immediately we've got a really nice finish there. I'm just going to take whatever's left on this sponge and add this to my lid, because we don't have anything there. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? Because we had like orange there a second ago. If you feel that you want a little bit more foundation on, this is where you can go in with a very thin layer, but not a lot. So I don't personally feel like I want more foundation. I actually feel like I'm really happy with this, because ultimately what I'm trying to show you is how to cover like the hyperpigmentation, but still have it look natural, right? And it's that layering technique that really works here. Now at this point, you want to make sure that you're going to set everything, but you also don't want it to look so dry. You want it to look very natural. So don't pile on the powder, because I know it's easy to think that that's what's going to work, but you want to kind of layer on very lightly. Now I like using my Huda Easy Bake in banana bread, and rather than kind of press on with a powder puff, that can sometimes be too much for a natural base, I would suggest using a brush. So this is where you're going to get like a Real Techniques brush, the setting brush, dip into the powder, and this is where you want to really kind of get under the eyes here. That would be the first area that I would suggest doing. And then press over very lightly where you've added the color corrector. That for me was there. Now very quickly, I just want to use the sponge to get rid of any creasing that I have on my lids, because it's probably started to crease because I opened my eyes. Let's now set this. Right, those are the main areas that we've done. Now, it's up to you whether you prefer a fully matte finish or if you like to have some dimension in the face. Personally, I feel like you should have some dimension in the face. Only set the areas that crease very easily or that tend to come off, and the areas that you've got hyperpigmentation. If you don't have hyperpigmentation on key areas that kind of are the areas where light hits very easily, then don't powder it down. You don't need to. So like, I'm only going to go through the center of my face, because I like that area, you know, down the middle to look nice and matte. But all this area here, I tend to leave because it adds a bit more dimension. Like for example, if I turn to the side, you can still see there's kind of like that nice kind of glow coming through, which is natural. At this point, you want to get your spray and it melts everything in. Now, you can use whatever spray you like. This is not about setting. This is really about melting your powder in so it doesn't look so heavy and it looks natural. I personally really like the Say Beauty City set because I feel like it's a spray that really does melt everything together. There's a few that I like, but that's one of my ones that I'm using at the moment. Really, that's kind of how you will get your base to a point where it is going to cover the hyperpigmentation, still look natural, and look kind of like flawless and kind of like, you know, like you've smoothed and evened everything out, but it is going to stay put all day because you've been very clever with the thin layers that you've applied. I'm just going to curl my lashes, more so that, you know, it just opens up my eyes because I'm not putting mascara on. Just so that it looks, you know, doesn't look flat. So going through some of the things that I feel like are mistakes when it comes to dealing with hyperpigmentation is, number one, going for a full coverage thick base immediately, thinking it's going to cover everything up, because you're not going to get a natural finish that way. And it could potentially end up almost changing the color of your hyperpigmentation. Like it's covered, but that area just tends to look a little gray, you know? So you really want something that's going to brighten the area up and neutralize that hyperpigmentation. So skipping color correction is honestly a mistake, I think, when it comes to hyperpigmentation. Overpowdering is another thing that I feel like can really be detrimental to your base when you are dealing with hyperpigmentation, and applying too many layers can be. We've applied, I think, 3 layers of cream, liquid cream form, and then 1 last layer of powder. If you go any more than that, it's going to end up looking too much, and it can end up even taking off whatever you've kind of put all that hard work into applying right at the beginning. So that is how you cover hyperpigmentation for a natural base, something that looks very natural and lasts all day. I really do hope you try it, and I hope it's helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Don't forget, everything is listed in my description box, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and the bell button so that you don't miss my next video, and I will catch you on the next video.